What a time to be alive. 2020, the digital age. How can you start an SMMA and take control of your life? Because I know sometimes it feels like it's out of your hands. I can relate. So for the next 15 to 20 minutes, I'll be holding your hand and teaching you how you can take control of your life. So close all your tabs, enter full screen, put in your earphones, zero distractions, and let's jump into it. So what is SMMA and what does it stand for? SMMA stands for Social Media Marketing Agency, and it's basically a service that you provide your clients, whether that be through paid advertising, organic traffic such as content creation, content management, SEO, web design. It's basically anything to do with social media and you helping a business through its social media. And the great thing about SMMA is that you can do this globally. I mean, we have serial entrepreneurs such as 𝐤𝐚𝐧𝐭, who is also into SMMA, and he travels the entire world. You know, he's always traveling. If you check him out on his YouTube, I'll actually add a little end card here to his YouTube channel. Honestly, I feel like you should watch him. He's a very great guy, very inspiring person. I'm actually going to do a review of his courses, I think on Friday. I'll do a review of his courses on Friday because like I've literally been through all 3 of his courses. I think he has like 4 or 5, but I've only been through 3, which is Pen to Profit, Agency Incubator, and the 𝐥𝐻𝐸 effect. Those are the 3 courses I've been to, and I really feel like they changed my entire view of SMMA and they really helped me move forward. But anyway, jumping back to the topic, you honestly don't have an excuse to not start SMMA because you can do this whether you have a job or still in school. Honestly, there's no excuse for this because the amount of things that can be outsourced and delegated to other people in SMMA is crazy. I mean, I'm doing this while still in school, so you don't have to quit your 9-to-5 job while running your SMMA agency. So really, there is no excuse for you to not do it, and it's a great way to get yourself some side income if you don't really want to make this a full income thing. Because the great thing about SMMA is that it's a cash cow. It's a cash cow business. That's why I honestly don't advise people to get a business partner in starting a SMMA because, well, if it's a cash cow business and you don't need any upfront fixed capital or costs associated with the business, really there's only 3 things you need financially to start an SMMA, and that would be a fast internet connection, a laptop, and a cell phone, a smartphone. Those are basically the only 3 hardware requirements you actually need to start your SMMA. So there is no excuse because I'm sure if you're able to be watching this video right now, you have an internet connection and you have either a cell phone or a laptop. So let's go to the next step. The next step is what you need to start an SMMA. Basically, the things you need to start an SMMA is a GoDaddy domain name, such as www.youragency.com. This is to give you a more professional look. You'd also have G Suite, which is $6 per month to get. This is very important because you don't want to outreach to potential clients with an email like youragency@gmail.com. You'd rather want to do it in a more formal and more presentable way, such as your name at youragency.com, because a potential client is more likely to click on an email sent by at youragency.com instead of an email that says at gmail.com. Another thing is Wix or ClickFunnels. You could use Wix if you don't have the cash to get ClickFunnels. It's okay, just use Wix, which I suggest most people use, and look into getting ClickFunnels once you have like 2 or 3 or more clients. Then get ClickFunnels, but honestly, ClickFunnels is not a requirement when starting out. So you could get Wix for free and build your landing page, your website, where you'll be sending all your clients to, as well as ClickFunnels if you have the cash to get your clients to go there. And HubSpot. HubSpot is the final software requirement you'll need to start your agency. And the great thing about HubSpot is that it's free. Well, the option we'll be using is free, which is the sales option. Other people recommend you use Pipedrive. Honestly, I preferred HubSpot because it's free and it basically does the exact same thing. Next up, the steps to getting a client, because you've been hearing me talk about outreach, talking about getting a client. You're basically trying to figure out, how do you get a client, because you need a client to get money. So there are steps to getting a client. There's choosing your niche, lead prospecting, qualifying, and then outreach. So choosing your niche, who will you provide services to? You cannot help everybody. You must specialize at only one niche and be considered a master in that one niche instead of being considered a jack of all trades. Now, trying to help every single niche and servicing every single niche is incredibly a dumbass thing to do, because soon down the line, number one, you'll tire, and number two, you'll reach a limit. You'll hit a ceiling, because some clients will either ask you, hey, do you have any proof of concept that actually works? Like, do you have any case studies of businesses that are in my niche? And if your answer is no, but you have like 15 other clients, how will that one specific client in a different niche think of you? Like, will they really want to work with you? Because they most likely willing to work with, let's say they're a real estate agent. A real estate agent is most likely willing to work with a SMMA that is focused on real estate agents, because you know what? They practice their craft for real estate agents, and all their clients are real estate agents, which means all the information, the ad naming conventions, the ads themselves, the copy, the words and phrases that they use for their customers, because you can't take the copy and the words used for a female fashion brand meant for millennials and X generation females, a fashion brand meant for anybody, for a female. Sorry, you can't take the copy of a fashion brand made for any female under the age of 30 and use the same exact copy on a real estate agent, because a real estate agent, their customers require more formality and more proper professional copy, whereas the fashion side, they would require more slang, using words such as girl or things like that, using what's trending and what's hip. Number two is lead prospecting. Once you have found who you will be servicing, then you can find those businesses in that niche you have chosen. So before you even look for clients, you need to know what sort of client you're looking for, right? You have to find who your client avatar is. Client avatar being your ideal client. What does your ideal client look like? And that's exactly what we were doing. And choose your niche. We were looking to find out who your ideal client is, so that when it comes to lead prospecting, you know exactly who to look for. Let me drink. So once you know who to look for, you'll just start lead prospecting, and that's basically hopping online and finding the business's email, the owner's email, the business's phone number, basically reaching out to them. But that's like the last step in the slide. The next step after lead prospecting, once you've gotten all these businesses' personal information and put them into a spreadsheet, you start qualifying them. You figure out which business can afford your services, because here's the thing, not every business will afford you. So then you must then qualify them and choose to outreach people who can not only afford you, but you feel you can actually provide a positive ROI for. Then put them all in a list, a spreadsheet list, because you can't have a client, like you can't, let's say you work in the e-com industry, like your clients are e-commerce owners, which is what I really advise people to jump into. But it's not a problem if you want to focus on local businesses, then focus on local businesses. But I'm gonna take e-commerce businesses for example here. So let's say an e-commerce business just started a couple of months ago and they're only generating $300 in profit a month, and here you come along saying you're gonna offer your services for $2,000 a month. Well, regardless of how great you are in sales, the fact that they can't afford you means that even if you were Grant Cardone or Dan Locke or whoever these great salesmen are, they aren't gonna buy your service or agree to work with you because they just can't afford it. Another thing would be whether or not the person can afford you. The problem is that their website just doesn't convert well because they have a really shitty website. If a person has a really shitty website, even if you generated that person 1 million leads, only like 10 people would buy from that website because the rest would just feel that the website is just too scammy, and you'd lose client and you'd lose reputation in being able to deliver a service, because the client wouldn't say, oh no, it's my fault that I wasn't able to convert the leads. The client will say it's your fault because he's paying you to get him. Now the next thing is outreach. Now that you have all of these businesses on a list, you want to find the founder or CEO and then cold call, cold email, Instagram DM, LinkedIn DM, Facebook DM. It's very important to outreach the decision maker only. Don't waste your time with other people, because the thing is this: you, number one, want to have multiple touch points, such as cold call, cold email, Instagram DM. You're basically contacting the founder or CEO in different platforms, so regardless of which platform they're most active on, they'll find your messages and you'll stay top of mind. Regardless of that, you want to contact the decision maker, because you can't email your services to support@examplebusiness.com, because support emails are mostly answered by 99% of the time. They're mostly answered by a receptionist, and the receptionist won't even open all emails, so a large portion of those emails will be left unread. And even if the receptionist read your email, they aren't the one who get to decide who the business works with. You understand? So basically, outreach is you contacting the founder or CEO and asking them to set a meeting. Here's the thing: you want to set the meeting, not the service. The meeting being where you'll sell yourself. So in the meeting is where you sell your services and why the client should hire you. And in the outreach stage is where you sell the meeting and not the service. The thing about outreach is that you gotta constantly be providing value. With outreach, but I'll get into more detail with that as this video goes on. So the next thing is your niche. There are different niches you could enter when it comes to SMMA, such as real estate agents, e-commerce, chiropractors, info products, etc. I would personally focus on e-commerce and info products. That's also what I will mainly be teaching you, though the strategies I provide can be used onto other niches, as the services provided are the exact same. What is not the same when it comes to different niches is the outreach method. A real estate agent would require you to use cold calls, Whereas an e-commerce founder would need to be called email. Understand how the business you want to service works, the system, the words the customers use, the sales process, etc. This is why you should only be focusing on one niche. This is how you find out who your ideal client is and learn what your client avatar is. Now you have to go out there and find your ideal client's information, their website, founder's name, the founder's Instagram link, the LinkedIn link of the founder, and the founder's personal Facebook. You must reach out to the decision maker. Here's the thing, this is the place where a lot of people screw up. They contact the receptionist, right? They contact the phone number and email that they find on the website, and that's the information that is used and received by the receptionist, not the founder. You have to contact the founder or the CEO if the business is huge and the founder is no longer that active in the business and it's just part of the board. Then you contact the CEO. And if the company is way more bigger than that and they have the CMO, then you contact the CMO. You just have to find out who the decision maker is. And once you learn who the decision maker is, you gather the decision maker's information, not the business's information, right? So if your niche is local businesses, these websites will be your friend. Lead Carrot, D7 Lead Finder, Google Directory, and Facebook groups. But if your niche is e-commerce, then these will be great for you. myip.ms, Google Directory. Now, Lead Carrot and D7 Lead Finder, this is where you just hop on the website and search dentist, and then search the area of which you want the software to show you dentists in that area. So for example, let me say I search, if I had to search, I'm not sure, I probably might pull up a screen recording of me using one of the softwares to find a dentist in Miami. And then it'll show me all the information of listed dentists who work in Miami, and then you just get their phone number, the person's phone number, their email address, everything, and just outreach to them from there. The great thing about local businesses that you don't even have to qualify them, because they already qualify themselves. But anyway, Google Directory is you hopping onto Google and doing it the old school caveman way, going onto Google and searching dentist in Miami, enter, and you just get a list of all the dentists in Miami, or like real estate agents in Johannesburg, enter, and you just get a list of all the real estate agents in Johannesburg. Facebook groups. Now this is very great for local businesses, Facebook groups, because you'll just type in there dentist from Ohio or dentist from Santon, and then you'll get a Facebook group that has all the dentists who live, well, not all, but a large portion, because some of them won't even be in that group, but a large portion of the dentists in your area or in the area you're looking to reach out to are probably in a Facebook group altogether, right? So you also want to look into Facebook groups. The great thing about Facebook groups is that it's nice and personal, because before you outreach them, you can just go ahead and for the first 2 or 3 weeks you're in that group, just give value, man. Just give value to the local business, the niche you want to jump into. So if you hop onto real estate groups, then you just go in there and provide value to those real estate agents before you go in there, add them as friends, and then hit them with the outreach messages. Before doing that, just provide value to the group, a lot of value, so that you stay top of mind, and that when they're scrolling on Facebook and in that group, they're like, whoa, who is this dude? Yesterday he provided a lot of value. Let me read what he says again. And there's a very high chance. This is actually similar to what Gary Vee talks about, like the $1.80 strategy, except you're doing this $1.80 strategy in one single group. So if you're in 5 groups, you gotta do a $1.80 strategy in every single group, and that'll equal up to, I don't know what it'll equal up to, like $6-8, I don't know. But anyway, for e-commerce brands, myip.ms would be great if you're searching for specifically Shopify, e-commerce businesses built with the Shopify platform. You could do the same with e-commerce businesses built with the WooCommerce platform. But the Shopify platform, the amount of e-commerce businesses built with the Shopify platform is insane. I mean, Kylie Jenner became a billionaire building her cosmetics business on Shopify. So why wouldn't you jump onto Shopify, right? Google Directory. Well, Google Directory is the exact same as it will be for local businesses. Well, similar actually, because you'll just hop onto Google and search. Online clothing stores. Enter. You just find a list of online clothing stores and you just start qualifying them. I'll teach you how to qualify e-commerce businesses in the next step, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, next step. So the next step is qualifying. If your niche is in the local business, then just skip this step. This is for the e-commerce squad, and if you're a part of the e-commerce squad, hit the like button, comment down e-commerce squad. And if you're not part of the e-commerce squad and you're the local business squad, just hit the like button and carry on watching the video, So the first thing is get the website link and get the website link of the e-commerce business, get the business's website link, then use myip.ms to learn the average number of visitors per day this website gets, So you take that business's link, plug it into myip.ms, and then you'll find out what the average number of visitors per day that website gets. Then the formula begins. So to calculate whether or not the business can afford you, which is basically what we're doing in the qualifying stage, we find out the average annual revenue they generate in one single year. And to do that, we say the average number of visitors per day they get times 2%, because in e-commerce we say only the conversion rate of a lead into a customer in e-commerce is around 2%. That's the bare minimum average. Some websites, some e-commerce brands can get 12% conversion rates, others can get 21% conversion rates, others can get 8% conversion rate, but this is the bare minimum, So chances are the business you're reaching out to is most likely getting more than 2%, but we just wanna be pessimistic on this part of the equation. So the average number of visitors per day times 2% times 365 days times the average basket price, which is basically the average cart value. So what the average customer pays on the website. You could probably do this by only picking the best-selling product and taking the best-selling product's price. Outreach. Now you want to send cold emails and DMs to the businesses, or cold calls, depending on what niche you're in and what suits your style, So let me talk about the message structure. So the message structure is pretty simple. You first introduce yourself, then you build the rapport, or you compliment the founder or CEO, then you provide value, tangible information they can use to improve. And then you say why you are messaging them. You need to tell them why you are messaging them. And then you schedule the meeting via Zoom, right? Then, after sending the message, you follow up. Always follow up. Even if they don't schedule the meeting, you follow up, right? The outreach message template, because I'm so kind, I just want to give you guys a simple outreach message template that you can use. I'll probably provide a more in-depth outreach message later on my channel. So subscribe, hit the notification bell so that when I do release it, you're the first to know, So the message goes like, hey Dany, I just had a look at your website, www.theirwebsite.com, as well as looked into your digital marketing ads. I checked out a couple, such as when you add an ad on their ad library on Facebook. I'll teach you how to do this on one of my videos in my channel. I think it can be improved in, then you tell them how you would improve their ads. So you provide value, right? You gotta provide value. By the way, Dany, my name is BKhunga and I own an agency that helps e-commerce businesses generate more revenue through Facebook ads. Let's pencil in a quick 30-minute call to discuss how I can bring you a steady stream of new customers. Looking forward, Bongi. So this is the basic message template, the structure I just gave you, right? This is the structure. You introduce yourself. I actually introduced myself quite a way down. It's not a problem as long as you introduce yourself, right? Introduce yourself before even asking them to schedule a meeting with you. I think that's really important. You can't introduce yourself after saying, let's schedule a call, right? Compliment them, build rapport. I did not do that here. But like I said, this is a simple message template. I'll provide a more in-depth cookie cutter template for you guys on my channel. Subscribe, provide value. Here I provided value right here when I talked about I wasn't supposed to do that. I provided value here when I talked about how you can improve it, right? I'm providing value. I'm giving them tangible information they can use and execute right there and then to improve their website's conversion rates. As well as why I'm messaging them. I'm messaging them because I want to help them generate more revenue through Facebook ads. Schedule the meeting. Here I have right here. Let's pencil in a quick 30-minute call to discuss how I can bring you a steady stream of new customers. Right? And that's the sort of structure you want to structure your messages like. So in the meeting, let's say you've messaged them, you've been following up, and they finally decided to start a meeting with you, to schedule a meeting with you. So in the meeting takes place on Zoom. I had to specify that. And the meeting has a few phases in it. It's basically in 4 phases. The digging phase. This is where you learn more about their business and where they are currently at, right? And then phase 2 is the emotional buy-in. You find out where they want to be in 12 months, as well as how it will feel if they were able to reach their goals with your help. You have to specify that they'll be able to reach your goals with your help, not with anyone else's help, with your help, including why they do. Wow, I'm so sorry. Including why they do what they do. Now, phase 3 is a logic phase. This is where you make calculations. This is where you calculate the customer's LTV for local businesses. For e-commerce businesses, I guess there's disadvantages and advantages and everything. E-commerce businesses, you can't really calculate LTV, right? You can only calculate LTV for local businesses, and I'll show you later on in my channel how to calculate LTV. But anyway, phase 4 is you close the decision maker on the call. You don't let them leave the call without closing them. At the end of the call, it's either they say yes and they move on, or they say no and they leave. Those are the only two options they have. There is no maybe, right? And have them process the payments on the call. If they don't pay you on the call, they won't ever make the call, right? They won't ever pay you. If they leave the call, the chances of them messaging you or paying you is 30 to 20%. Those are the chances of them paying you. And that is an incredibly low percentage rate. And it's the truth, right? Some side tips I want to give you. Things people online are keeping secret from you to stroke their ego. Now these are really big secrets that these big digital marketers are keeping from you online, because they prefer to help themselves and ensure that they're at the top of the mountain and you remain at the bottom of the mountain. And after going through so many courses and taking action on so many of these things, I just want to provide you a couple of tips that I really feel go against the conventional wisdom that you're given online, which is, number 1, if the client doesn't pay on the call, they are not your client. Prospects lie a lot. I'll make a video about this going in detail on my YouTube channel, right? Number 2, never offer free trials, right? Never offer free trials, because the thing about free trials is you were able to provide them the service for free, but now all of a sudden you're charging $1,000, $2,000, $6,000 for the same service you were able to charge for free. I mean, they wouldn't be able to make sense of that. Number 3, what your client pays you is for your service. Their ad budget and credit card details must be given to Facebook. Let Facebook charge them for that, not you. What they pay you goes straight into your pocket. And what they pay you, that goes straight into your pocket. We call those retainers. And you can charge clients $1,000 to $10,000 or more than $10,000 per month. For a local business though, it would be anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000, and if you're at the top of your game, $8,000 per month. But if you're only working with local businesses, don't expect them to pay you anything more than $7,000 per month, right? Service delivery. So how do you go about making the Facebook ads for the client? Here's the thing, you don't. I'm focused on leveraging systems and people. You handling the ads would mean you just got yourself a new job, and you're in SMMA to take control of your life, not to swap your current job for a new job. Instead, head to these websites and find contractors who will handle the ads for you. We have Upwork.com, Fiverr.com, Facebook groups, and the sort of Facebook groups you'd be searching for: Facebook Media Buyer Job Board, Facebook Ad Buyer Job Board. Those are the sort of Facebook pages, Facebook groups you'd want to reach out to, right? So you want to create a Google form for these media buyers to fill in. I actually made a video with the template of this Google form. So this is the Google form that you'll send to the media buyers who said they'd like to be considered for the position. And then you'd send the Google form to all of these people who said they'd like to be considered for the job. And then you just look at all the answers you received and pick the right people you want, the people you felt answered the questions properly, and just set up a Zoom meeting with them, interview every single one, and then pick the one you feel is really right for you, is the perfect match for you, right? I made a video on this, on the Google form template and the sort of questions you want to be asking. I'll link it at the bottom of this video. Next step is the template to get contractors. Now, a dude named 𝐬𝐚𝐧𝐭 taught me that we don't call them contractors or media buyers. In fact, we call them team members. This is to ensure that they feel compelled to give it their all when delivering services, because they're a part of a team, a bigger picture, a group of people striving to achieve one goal, right? So this template right here is basically what you'll be posting on Fiverr.com, Upwork.com, and on Facebook groups to get your potential team member, right? So it goes something like, hey everyone, my name is BKhunga and I actually own and run an e-commerce advertising agency. We're currently looking to bring on a team member to take care of the service delivery aspect for our clients. You must have at least 1 year experience in Facebook ads. You'll be paid on a per month, per client basis. Apply here. Then you add a link to your Google form where they fill it in, and then you can just look at the responses and decide who is the right fit for your agency. Then the ones that you feel are a right fit for your agency, you just hop onto some Zoom meetings with every single one of them, and you pick the one you want to work with, right? So that's the gist of it. Now, if I'm not mistaken, subscribe for daily content. Subscribe if you're into SMMA and just general entrepreneur advice, tips, how-tos, and just for some actual SMMA knowledge that these people online are keeping for their courses, or just keeping to themselves because they don't even want their students in their courses to surpass them. So subscribe if that's what you're into, and I really believe YouTube will be a place that I use to document my journey so that I can look back 4 or 5 years down the line and say, wow, look where I came from. I've been referencing this man a lot, 𝐬𝐚𝐧𝐭. Like, he does the exact same thing. I think he's sitting on 150 something subscribers on YouTube, and like, he's documented his journey since 4 years ago when he didn't even have an agency and was only making like $50 to $100 a year, a month. $50 to $100 a month, and now he's making like $250,000 a month, which is incredible. For a person to be able to document that journey, and for you to be able to see him when he had nothing and when he actually is who he is now. Comment down below and hit the like button if you found any value in this video. Comment down below and just comment down anything, man. A question you'd like me to answer, a part of this video which you found very helpful, man. Just anything, you know, just general life. I reply to every single comment, and till I see you guys in a minute, thank you, dear.